Right now, one of the biggest questions on the minds of seniors across the United States is simple. Is the Social Security Administration really sending out $2,600 in back pay this September? And if so, who actually qualifies? With official confirmation now in place, this isn't just another rumor floating around. The SSA has given the green light, and millions of Americans are on track to receive deposits in just a matter of days. If you're living on Social Security, you already know how tough the last few years have been. From rising grocery bills to prescription costs that seem to climb every single month, it often feels like your benefits just don't stretch far enough. That's why this back pay decision is such a game changer. It's not a new promise, it's not political talk, it's money that has already been approved, scheduled, and prepared for direct deposit in September 2025. This isn't about new applications or complicated paperwork either. The SSA has structured this back pay relief so that most eligible seniors will automatically receive it, the same way they receive their monthly Social Security checks. That means if you normally get your benefits by direct deposit, the $2,600 back pay will show up right there in your account. And if you're one of the smaller group that still gets paper checks, the SSA is mailing those as well. But here's the part that matters most: understanding why this back pay is happening and whether you're included. For years, seniors have pointed out that cost of living adjustments often fail to keep up with the true cost of daily living. After reviews, corrections, and pressure from lawmakers and advocacy groups, the SSA has confirmed that this relief is meant to fill the gap and make sure you receive what you should have been paid in the first place. So stay with me, because in this video, I'll explain exactly who qualifies, how the $2,600 payment will be delivered, and what you can expect in September. No hype, no confusion, just the real facts that matter to your wallet and your peace of mind. Now that you know the SSA has confirmed this back pay, let's break down what it really means and why it's so important for millions of seniors across the country. For a lot of people, the idea of a $2,600 deposit showing up in their account almost feels too good to be true, especially after years of hearing conflicting stories about Social Security changes. But this time is different, because the confirmation is official, and it's tied directly to adjustments and corrections the Social Security Administration needed to make after reviewing how benefits were calculated. This isn't a bonus, it isn't charity, and it isn't something temporary. It's money that many seniors should have already been receiving, and September 2025 is when the government is finally making things right. The reality is that seniors have been under pressure for years. Every single month feels like a balancing act, where you're forced to decide whether to put more money toward medicine, groceries, housing, or simply trying to keep up with bills. When Social Security is your main source of income, there's very little room for error. A sudden increase in the cost of heating during the winter, or the rising cost of eggs and milk, can throw your budget completely off balance. The SSA knows this, and that's one of the reasons why the back pay decision has been pushed forward with urgency. It's about correcting the gap between what seniors were promised and what they've actually been receiving, and doing it in a way that puts real dollars into your hands. Now, you might be wondering how exactly this back pay amount was decided. The figure of $2,600 isn't random. It comes from adjustments related to cost of living increases, benefit recalculations, and corrections tied to inflation that was underestimated in earlier years. Many seniors have complained that while the official COLA adjustments looked good on paper, they didn't actually match the real costs faced by people trying to survive on a fixed income. Groceries rose faster than the numbers showed. Prescription drug prices jumped, and Medicare premiums took larger bites out of monthly checks. This back pay is an acknowledgement of that miscalculation and a step to make sure seniors are compensated fairly. The good news is that you don't have to jump through hoops to get it. There's no separate application, no long forms to mail in, and no need to call the Social Security office and wait on hold for hours. The SSA has designed this payment to flow automatically through the same system that handles your monthly benefits. That means if your check arrives by direct deposit, the $2,600 will be deposited directly into your account. If you receive your Social Security through the mail, then the same process applies, and you'll see the check delivered. That simplicity is part of what makes this relief so important. Too often, seniors are buried under paperwork and red tape, but in this case, the government is removing those barriers and making sure the funds arrive as quickly as possible. Timing, of course, is what everyone cares about. September 2025 is the month circled on the calendar, but let's be clear, the payments will not all arrive on the same exact day. Just like regular Social Security deposits, the back pay will be released in waves, often tied to the same schedule you already follow. For example, if you typically receive your Social Security benefits in the second week of the month, that's likely when your back pay will appear. If you're used to seeing your deposit at the end of the month, expect the $2,600 around that same time frame. The key point is that the money is already funded, scheduled, and being distributed. It's not an idea on paper anymore, it's an action that's underway. One concern many people naturally have is whether this back pay will affect their regular Social Security benefits or create tax headaches later. The reassurance here is that it won't replace or reduce your usual check. Think of it as an additional deposit on top of what you normally receive. Your standard monthly benefit will continue without interruption, and this $2,600 will simply be added in September. As for taxes, early reports and statements from officials suggest that this payment is not expected to be treated as taxable income for most seniors. That distinction matters, because the last thing anyone wants is for a relief payment to turn into a tax liability. The SSA has structured this carefully to ensure that you actually keep the money and benefit from it fully. But let's be real. For many seniors, the question isn't just whether the money is coming, it's what difference it will make once it arrives. Imagine having $2,600 suddenly land in your account. For some, that might mean paying down credit card debt that's been hanging over your head. For others, it might be the opportunity to finally catch up on utility bills or rent. Some may choose to set it aside for medical expenses or to help cover the cost of prescription drugs that always seem to rise. And then there are those who may use it for something more personal, like repairing a car, helping a grandchild, or even just allowing themselves a small break, maybe a trip, a special meal, or something they've been putting off for far too long. That's the power of this back pay. It's not just numbers on a government ledger, it's relief that touches real lives. At the same time, it's important to stay alert. Every time there's a new payment or benefit announced, scammers show up to take advantage of confusion. They'll call pretending to be from the Social Security office, send fake emails, or even try to trick you with letters that look official. Their goal is always the same: to get your personal information or convince you to pay a fee to release your funds. Let me say this as clearly as possible: you do not need to pay anyone to receive this back pay. You do not need to give out your Social Security number, bank details, or any other private information to strangers. The SSA already has what it needs, and the payments will be delivered automatically. If anyone tells you otherwise, it's a scam. Protect yourself and spread the word to friends and family so nobody falls into that trap. Now, some of you may be wondering why this back pay is happening now and not earlier. The truth is that government decisions move slowly, and it often takes years of pressure from seniors, advocacy groups, and lawmakers to make changes. Over the past 2 years, inflation exposed how fragile fixed incomes really are. Seniors were some of the hardest hit, and there was mounting criticism that the Social Security system wasn't keeping up. After reviews and public outcry, adjustments were made, and that's what led to the September 2025 back pay. It's not perfect, and it doesn't solve every financial struggle seniors face, but it's a significant step toward fairness. Looking beyond September, this back pay also sparks a larger conversation about the future of Social Security. Many experts are asking whether temporary relief like this is enough, or if more permanent changes are needed. Should monthly benefits be raised permanently? Should COLA adjustments be tied more directly to the real costs seniors face, like healthcare and housing? Should there be ongoing back pay corrections to ensure seniors are never shortchanged again? These are questions lawmakers will be debating in the months and years ahead, but for now, what matters is that the SSA has acted and money is on the way. Think about the bigger picture. $2,600 may not solve everything, but it can provide a cushion, a safety net, a moment of peace for people who have carried the burden of uncertainty for too long. It's a recognition of the fact that seniors have given decades of work, paid into the system faithfully, and deserve not to be left behind in retirement. This deposit is not a gift, it's earned, it's deserved, and it's overdue. As we move closer to September, the most important thing you can do is stay informed and patient. Watch your account, know your deposit schedule, and keep your eyes open for official updates from the SSA. If you receive your Social Security check without problems each month, you can expect the same smooth process for this back pay. And if there are any questions, always go directly to the official SSA website or office. Never rely on random phone calls or emails. By the end of September 2025, millions of seniors will have received this deposit, and for many, it will feel like a long overdue correction finally made right. It may not fix every financial challenge, but it will provide relief at a time when it's needed most. That's the power of this change, and that's why it's so important to spread the word and make sure every eligible senior understands what's happening.